20-year-old, now turning 40, until finally, here I am, age 51. Through the window of computer science, I can now show you what lies ahead. Should I get to 60, or 70, or 80, or survive to 100? What these images can't convey is the onset of chronic disease and pain. Is this sentence inevitable? Should I accept it, even welcome it as the natural cycle of life, or should I fight it? And if I fight, can I succeed? Do I have the right to succeed? I want you to come with me on a journey where you may find some of the answers to those questions for yourself. The Roman Irish Baths, Baden-Baden, Germany. Here, the prescription for staying young is relaxation, pleasure, and water. Nobody's clear whether it's the water that does the trick or everything else that comes with it. A chance to throw off inhibitions, enjoy good company, and culture. Loads of culture. Baden-Baden boasts 40 art galleries, orchestras, theatres, all harnessed to the serious business of keeping us fit and young. This leisurely, civilized approach belongs to an ancient tradition.
The spa tradition has a history of more than 5,000 years. And we are doing it since 2,000 years with the same water, but not with the same management.
Baden-Baden is just one of 400 European spas, a whole network built on water. 250,000 people pass through Baden-Baden every year to be splashed and pummeled, serenaded and pampered. And if they're German, their medical insurance or the state will pay for their pleasure. If only our quest for eternal youth could be so simple and so comforting. Today, the urge to study and control the effects of aging is a much more serious business.
All of us know the sad story of the aging process. We see skin wrinkling. We see a drop in muscle. You can see a gain in fat. In fact, as we go from the age of 30 to the age of 75, we double the amount of fat that we carry around with us, and unfortunately, we lose half of the muscle that we have.
By this measure, childhood is the time of our lives. At 12, the age of this gymnast, the body is at its most supple and efficient, the immune system at its peak. From this time forward, resistance to disease declines. Brain cells shrivel and die and are never replaced. In later life, the decline is visible and dramatic. Skin wrinkles, sight, hearing and memory are impaired. The skeleton thins and weakens. In the wealthy countries, the urge to slow this decline has become an obsession. It is reliably estimated that Americans spend $4 billion annually on lotions, potions, and pills to ward off aging. A new breed of prophet has ridden in on the boom with a sophisticated style in self-promotion. From California, Dirk Pearson and Sandy Shaw.
You are about to meet two of the most extraordinary, dynamic, and dedicated research scientists at work today. Their first book, Life Extension, was the #1 best-selling book on the charts for more than 10 months. Over 2 million copies were sold. This book has all the answers. It's the Fountain of Youth. Dirk Pearson and Sandy Shaw will show you the fascinating mysteries of the human body that they have been researching and living in their search for the secrets of life extension.
What are the secrets of life extension, Dirk?
Well, the most important concept is that aging is caused by mechanisms, and scientific research can elucidate the nature of these mechanisms. And once we know how the mechanisms work, it'll be possible to intervene in them, to slow down aging, perhaps even to reverse very substantial amounts of aging damage.
If we could actually keep up with the damage, with repair, we'd be able to live indefinitely, which would mean until an accident or suicide or murder would get us.
Hey, aging is something that we can understand. It's something that we can do something about. Let's spend the money on the scientific research and get on with doing something about it. Find out how it works and fix it. This is a very different attitude than, say, your grandfather had. Your grandfather took the idea of growing old and becoming decrepit to be as natural as the sun rising and as inevitable. It isn't as inevitable.
Okay, Dirk, you refuse to give in, and you've turned this house into an arsenal in the war against old age. Can you give me an idea of the weapons that you use in your daily battle?
First off, we take some nutrient supplements that provide the brain with raw materials to make more of neurotransmitters, such as noradrenaline, what you might call designer foods for the brain. We also take another supplement. These are raw materials from which the brain can make acetylcholine, which is another neurotransmitter which is involved in such things as focus, attention, memory, verbal behavior. Here you are, Sandy. Now, one of the things that we take ourselves may surprise people because it is not a vitamin. It's low-dose aspirin. We each take half an aspirin with the biggest meal of the day. Very large study has shown that you can reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease by about 41%.
Most people that are at risk of heart attacks are not taking aspirin. And what that means is there's about 100,000 premature deaths every year because of this.
It makes a very, very cheap insurance policy. We also take some additional vitamin C. Now, we take about 12 grams a day, spread out in 4 doses. We also take a high-potency multivitamin, multimineral, antioxidant nutrient supplement. About 800 units of vitamin E per day is reasonable. Beta-carotene, we suggest, that's the stuff that makes carrots orange. We suggest about 25,000 per day of that. But some of the other vitamins are quite important, too. For example, choline and B5.
Stuck in my throat.
The supplement also contains vitamin B6, which is very important, particularly to people on a high-protein diet, for helping to prevent atherosclerosis. In addition, we take some supplemental niacin. A gram of niacin with each meal can work wonders with a lot of people. In double-blind placebo-controlled studies,
people who take megavitamins and take all these supplements are really doing more harm than they're doing good. And there's no, I think, objective evidence that says that they're aging any more successfully than people who don't.
Dr. Edward Schneider is director of one of the world's most prestigious aging research centers. At 51, he is 3 years older than Dirk or Sandy.
The megavitamin business is a billion-dollar business. And yet the average person at any age who's having a balanced diet really doesn't require vitamin supplement. The best prescription for aging is exercise. Exercise can slow down the aging of your muscles, your bones, your heart, and your lungs, and will do almost no harm.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock.
Exercise in the fight against aging. Another multi-billion-dollar business. We're at the Pritikin Longevity Center, Santa Monica, California.
We're in the business of allowing us to live our maximum lifespan. The problem that happens in our culture is that by the time we hit 50 or 60, we may drag on another 15 years, but it's in misery. The quality of life is so poor. We're kept alive through drugs and heroic interventions such as these massive surgeries. The last 15 years of our life are hardly worth living. Do you want to live on medication that makes you feel terrible, that makes you impotent, that makes you have headaches, that makes you feel weak and tired? Do you want to not be able to run across the street if a car's going to chase you down? Do you want to play ball with your grandchildren? The choice is ours to make. We have tremendous amount of control over our destiny and quality of life.
Santa Monica, 6 a.m. The old Esplanade building has moved with the times. A resort hotel in the 30s, a drug rehabilitation center in the 70s, now the flagship of the Pritikin Empire.
Good morning. This is your wake-up call.
To undo the damage caused by overeating, under-exercise, and all the other afflictions of our affluent lifestyle, for $3,500 a week, the Pritikin Center offers a regime of hard labor on a third-world diet. As the last guests drift downstairs to labor for their health, others take their place to labor for a living, each in their different ways, exercising for survival.
All right, now take it up to your interval high pace. Speed it up. How you doing? Doing great? Yes, good job. You're doing fantastic. All right, what's for lunch today? Vegetable soup, southern vegetable. Your hearty soup is lima bean, marinated beans, and vegetable primavera. Sounds great.
The Pritikin menu is based on the diet of Indian tribes in Central America, where obesity and heart disease are virtually unknown. So vitamin pills are out. At $3,500 a week, beans and hard labor are in.
I think it's one of the great ironies of life that the only people that can afford the benefits of a third world diet are rich people in this country. Hopefully with enough education and enough sympathetic food manufacturers and enough people to motivate people correctly, that all will change. But right now, if you want to be a healthy person in this society, it clearly takes motivation.
And money.
And money.
Ready on the left, ready on the right.
Here's another answer to aging. Club together and fight back.
To all cars, an Alzheimer patient is missing from Camelot Care Center. He's wearing a white t-shirt, blue jeans, and a blue baseball cap.
10-4, I'm 10-17.
10-4.
We're in Sun City, Arizona. Population 46,000, minimum age of residence 55. If you're young, you don't belong here. In Sun City, the old are in charge.
560.
560.
Suspicious couple in a blue pickup truck. Two white males in the early 20s in the area of Del Webb and Tropicana Circle.
Security in Sun City is due in a large measure to the people all being of one age. Yeah. But if someone happens in and they don't belong here, why, it's readily apparent. They're probably young people or they're easily spotted. And,
Jack Goodridge was a rookie cop in the Sun City posse at the age of 67. Now, age 73, he's commander. Richard Schiefelbein is the baby of the force. He's just turned 60. Sun City was built by a property speculator on 5,000 acres of Arizona desert. In the heat of high summer, everyone seems to be indoors. One might as well be on the moon. Yet somehow the people here have managed to turn this isolation, along with disability, loneliness, and everything else that can come with old age, into positive triumphs. Sun City is impressive. There are 7 vast, air-conditioned leisure centers with bowling alleys, pool rooms, gymnasia, dance halls. There are 11 golf courses, 5 Olympic-sized swimming pools. There are orchestras, opera societies, drama groups. There are classes in woodwork, metalwork, ceramics, drawing, needlework, and self-improvement. There are dance groups specializing in everything from tango to tap, from hula hula to high kicks. The Sun City Ponds. Average age, 73.
Our children and grandchildren wouldn't have us anyplace else because they're so proud of the clippings and the TV. Oh, Grandma, I saw you on TV last night. Oh, Grandma, oh, this and that. They wouldn't have us move from here and lose all this.
But wouldn't they rather have you with them?
No, because